The most recent relevant review I could find was 5 years ago. How is it not on anybody's best of list? I'm talking about the Guerlain Lingerie de Peau foundation. I picked this up during the Sephora sale this past spring. I picked it up because it's one of the few foundations at Sephora that says it's actually good for dry skin. This foundation says it's good for normal and dry skin, that it has a natural finish, and gives medium coverage. With my engineering background, you know I love to test things, so not only is this video a standard 3-day wear test of this foundation, I've actually been wearing it for over a month. Hi, this is Editing Kris. This is footage from the first day one, where it's no primer, and I am using my fingers to apply this foundation. Now, the reason why I'm coming to you in editing is because at the end of this day, this foundation failed me. It split apart. It was awful. And because I had been wearing this foundation for over a month, I knew that was really strange. And what I realized when I went back and looked at my footage was I didn't shake it. There is sunscreen in here, titanium dioxide and oxanoxate, and I forgot to shake the foundation. That is one step you absolutely must do with this foundation. So I'm showing you because I wanted to show you putting it on with my fingers, but we're just gonna fast forward over it now to another day one where I remembered to shake this foundation. Day one, again, no primer, and today I'm going to be using a brush to apply this foundation. I will say that a brush is my favorite way to apply this foundation, and specifically the IT brushes for Ulta, the Airbrush 101. I've mentioned before, this is my holy grail for foundation brushes. I like the density, I like the shape, I like how I'm able to buff foundation into my skin and get a really nice look with it. Also with this foundation, a brush is how you are going to be able to get medium coverage. Fingers will be the next most, and finally, if you want sheer coverage, you're going to use a beauty blender. Yesterday's performance of this foundation left me so baffled. I absolutely had to do it again today. So no primer today. I used the Ulta MD sunscreen. Once again, I used the Wayne Goss, the weightless powder for setting powder. Used a little bit of the Rimmel Stay Matte, just in my kind of down the middle, and no setting spray today. As you can see in the close-up, I mean, it's not looking fantastic, but it didn't break up anywhere. It mildly settled into that one wrinkle, so that's not so bad. I feel much better about it. This is more the performance out of this foundation that I expected. So we will go back to some primers and setting sprays tomorrow. Day two, and I am using primer today. It is the Smashbox Primerizer. This has hyaluronic acid in it. It is a moisturizing primer. You can see it's quite runny. Today I'll be using a damp beauty blender to apply this foundation, and yes, I am remembering to shake it. One thing I really appreciate about this foundation, it is not fickle. Fingers, beauty blender, brush, it doesn't care. Just make sure to shake it. This is a 9-hour check-in today. Overall, it's looking really good. Of course, it did settle into this line, even with primer today, and it's completely worn off my chin. However, I was editing for a good 4 or 5 hours today, and all of my editing happens like this. So I am not surprised that there's nothing left down there. You know, almost nothing looks good in a 10x mirror at this time of night. So at arm's distance, at a normal person distance, this foundation is still looking really decent. I'm quite happy with it. Today I'm using the Stila One-Stepped Color Correct Primer. I've used this primer a couple of times before. I don't really have an opinion on it yet. I mean, it's not awful. I'm not sure how much color correcting it's actually doing. It is a slightly thicker formula, but it goes on nicely and does feel moisturizing without being runny. I only used about half of the amount that came out with one full pump of that product. I will be using the foundation brush from BK Beauty today. For me, I find that this foundation brush pushes more product in versus working it in. Maybe that's a slight distinction, but I really do prefer my Airbrush 101. You know, if I'm in my closet, that this is the artificial light test, because this is the only place in the house where I can get away from all the natural light and just show you what this foundation looks like under LED lighting. This is flash photography and I like it. There's no flashback. It looks good. This is going to be the best I can do for natural lighting. I am kicking myself. About an hour ago, we actually had sunshine, but this wasn't all done. And when I pull up the forecast, we are just supposed to rain. By the way, this is June 13th in Seattle. Yesterday, we almost broke the record for low-high temperature. We hit 57, the record was 56. Today, we are not supposed to make it out of the 50s. Now, I know you all in Texas, and there are a lot of you, you're having record-breaking heat. I am so sorry. If I could send you some of this, and you could send me some heat, we could do a deal. This is an 8-hour check-in today. I set the foundation using the RCMA Original No Color Powder. I used the Tarte Stay Spray, the double duty setting spray, and then I finished it with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Compressed Powder. And today reminded me why I have been reaching for this foundation over and over again for the last month. It is just a known quantity. It gives me good light medium to medium coverage. I like the finish on it. It's a satin finish. It wears really well. It holds up well. Yeah, it settles into this wrinkle. Everything settles into that wrinkle. It doesn't settle into the other three. So it does a great job at that. So all in all, I am really happy to have this foundation in kind of my foundation wardrobe. It has been a really great foundation to reach for everyday occasions. I did have an event to go to, and so I really built it up, and it looked so pretty for that. Is it Holy Grail status? You know, maybe Holy Grail of a type. Yeah, this is just, it's like a great pair of jeans. Are you going to wear it to a formal event? No, but man, you love having that great pair of jeans in your wardrobe. If you enjoyed that video, you're going to also like this one, another foundation I had a good time with, or check out my entire foundation playlist.